morning, my fellow monkeys. We have something new to consider on the horizon this morning. It's the electric revolution, the new dawn. The tools are in our hand to make some serious changes in how we use electricity. And I'm going to tell you how it might look, what we could do, and who's going to try and stop us, and what they're definitely going to do. One key to using electricity efficiently? No. One key to abundant electricity is using it efficiently. I should be reading, shouldn't I? We don't really do that. And despite all the talk you hear about going green and curly light bulbs, despite all the talk we hear about going green and curly light bulbs and energy audits and improving efficiencies here, there, and everywhere, per capita, we're using more electricity here in Columbia than we have previously. We're on just a slight increase, even though we've got more laptops than PCs. Our houses get bigger. People sell us stuff that uses electricity. It's easy to ignore. So we're using more overall. 28,000 customers there with non-electric heat. At our house, my wife Diana and I have been trying to use electricity a little bit better and more wisely and cut our consumption down. We can cut it by 75%. First of all, don't let anybody tell you this cut it by X percentage. We don't really talk like that. That doesn't mean anything. Like if somebody's smoking and they're trying to quit, they don't say, oh, I've cut my smoking down by 16%. They'll just flat out tell you, I smoke a pack a day. I'm trying to, cut down to half a pack, and I'm really going to quit forever. But so we use the real numbers. When you hear percentage cuts, somebody's maybe trying to fool you. So average homes use a little over 800. Oh, let's do it with cigarettes. Kilowatt hours. My wife and I smoke about 6 kilowatt hours a day. The average Colombian smokes about 27 kilowatt hours a day. However, there's some among us, these are residential accounts now, this is kind of the bell curve distribution, the red line's the average. There are some of us that are smoking hundreds of kilowatt hours a day. I don't even know how you do that. You'd have to run like 8 crock pots and 10 big screen TVs and blow dry your hair the entire day to run that kind of stuff. But somehow they're getting it through the wires and using, 20, 50 times what my wife and I use. So we have a public utility in water and light, and this is really important. We own the utility. It is us. We fund it. We pay our bills. They go to Columbia Water and Light. We pay about $140 million into our central pot that we share, and about $100 million of that completely leaves our local economy, and it goes mostly to the fossil fuel industry. So if we could redirect a lot of that and bring it back into our town, we'd have a pretty good budget for getting a pretty good head start on a local, renewable, sustainable electric system. Oh, I'm ahead of myself. And when the fossil fuel industry talks about sustainability, they want to sustain that $100 million arrow that's going towards them from us. So they tell us we need this, that, and the other thing. So we hear we need new nuclear plants or more natural gas plants or more power lines and that sort of thing. But do we really need all that? And could there be better alternatives? He asked rhetorically. So over time, we have created, and we've become addicted to, these massive energy systems that are just huge and expensive and unsustainable for all sorts of reasons. And centralizing the energy production, it builds these mountains of money, and that brings political power and resistance to change. And one of the biggest impediments to doing things the smarter way is there's a lot of people making a lot of money when we keep doing things the dumb way. So centralized energy generation leads to massive transmission infrastructure, which kind of feeds back into the concept of centralized generation and centralized energy masters. So at the moment, we are under control of the energy empire, and we're kind of helpless slaves to the grid. We're really dependent on our electrical systems. And so the energy empire has to keep energy and electricity very scary and mysterious, and it has to be supplied to us through a very complex, tortuous path that goes through massive centralized systems. And the energy empire's major weapon is the FUD ray. You guys know FUD? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Good way to control people, easy to scare people, not easy to unscare them. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt comes along in the form of fear of power outages or high bills or rolling blackouts, uncertainty about global warming, the economy, availability of jobs, doubt about the ability of renewable energy to maintain every house at exactly 74 degrees in every room under every atmospheric condition possible. But there's a way out. All the energy we have on the planet basically comes from the sun. Some of it's run through 90 or 150 million years of crazy geological stuff that stored it as in terms of fossil fuels, which is the hard stuff. It's the heroin of energy. You have huge, massive energy content of this stuff. So we like it. But we're rapidly depleting our store of this long-term stored solar energy, and we can look for some better options. We can go straight to the source. Times, technology have changed. We can go straight to the sun, get most of our energy from that. So here's the basic setup. I want to make sure I cover all this stuff. Solar panels on our homes and businesses. Industrial areas have lots of space for solar panels too. So solar panels all over the place. Efficient buildings and the people who are in them. Devices that store the electricity in batteries. You know, we've kind of moved to laptops from personal computers, and there's a lot of opportunity to charge those at the proper time when the sun is shining. Smart appliances that store energy in other forms, like ice. Tell your fridge to make ice when the sun's shining and it's hot. You know, you want a bunch of ice. Just go make ice. Make yourself nuts. Fill the whole thing up. It's another way to store solar energy. Smart grid, smart homeowners, smart business owners, all these are going to contribute to this system. Electric vehicle batteries, that's going to be a big change in a lot of ways. But that can act like kind of a buffer and a balancing agent with the grid, because we're going to have more intermittent renewables. Not everybody's going to have everything all the time. Might get cloudy for just a minute, might get cloudy for a couple days. So batteries will act like, and the most expensive battery bank we'll probably have would be our car. So that'll talk to the grid, that'll talk to our house, talk to the refrigerator, might even talk to your phone or your computer. But these things will talk to each other and use energy wisely between them. Columbia Water and Light. It's our public utility, so we can do what we want with it. If we want to have a yodeling contest for free power for a month, we could do that. It's our discretion. Columbia Water and Light would provide base loading through biomass, purchasing renewables off the grid, being the balancing agency for all the bits and pieces of a renewable energy economy, and protecting the system that we all share from those who would choose to abuse it. So that all comes down to basically living off of the sun in real time and in our real space, just locally living off the sun. And because we decided we're going to have a renewable energy ordinance, we, as a community, Columbia Water and Light, we buy, I think it's between 5 and 10% renewable energy right now. And that's creeping up slowly, but we don't have to wait for that to happen. You can go straight to renewable energy right now on an individual home or business basis. Solar panels have always been just super awesome and gorgeous, and now they're cheap. And this is the big game changer. This is the new tool in the revolution. Cheap solar panels. And my wife and I just put up this little solar pergola in the front yard, put solar panels on it, Columbia Water and Light rebate, federal tax incentive, cost us $1,526, and because our energy needs are modest, this covers all the energy needs for the rest of our lives, or until we get the electric car, which will, throw it into a tizzy. But that's really all you need. You get efficient, and then you get the $1,500 worth of gear, and you're done. And theoretically, you could sever from the grid, but I don't want to sever from the grid. I want to participate in this. I want to sell energy to the neighbors, and I want Columbia Water and Light to balance all that out for us all. I want to participate in that. I don't want to be off-grid. I want to be on the new, better grid. So, we have the opportunity and the technology to take the power and the money back into our own community, and there are no real engineering barriers. There are only massive political barriers. So this won't be quick, it won't be easy, and there's a ton of work to do, which on the plus side creates a lot of jobs. So that's nice too. So there's a way out, but it's going to take a lot of political will. It's also going to take efficiency, buying local, distributed generation of photovoltaics and other renewables. Oh, we got the Missouri River and these massive rivers. I don't think we can ignore all the hydroelectric activity for that much long. Smartness of grid, smartness of customer owners, smart utility operations, Don't forget, the power of the dark side is strong. They have many allies who walk amongst us, and they will stop at nothing to maintain control. Beware the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But even those powerful forces cannot block us from the sun. And even my mixed science fiction metaphors cannot stop us. So, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Thank you.